Joining us from Santa Monica is Jessica Caldwell at Edmunds.com. Jessica, happy President's Day, happy Chinese New Year to you. Apparently Toyota's kind of the changing tack a little bit, and people are starting to warm up to this whole crisis recall procedure weeks and weeks after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, I think once the issue's out there, I think a lot of people are like, wait a second, I think my car has that same issue. So we're kind of seeing a whole new wave of complaints, which I think could be expected, come on to Toyota already, adding to the problems that they already have. But I think it wasn't anything too out of the ordinary. Okay,
are they making ground then? I mean, we heard that the Journal was reporting a bit early, and you probably heard numbers even more updated than this, about 500,000 accelerator, the shims, the bearings, whatever, have been torqued down and repaired. Are they making good ground, and will this be a matter of weeks before it's all wrapped up?
Yeah, I mean, they're making good ground. Last week at the Chicago Auto Show, Bob Carter, who's one of the heads of Toyota here in the United States, said they're fixing about 50,000 cars per day at the dealerships across the country. So I think that's pretty good progress. But considering there's millions of vehicles out there that need to be repaired, I mean, it's still going to be pretty slow. So it is a pretty rapid pace that they're working at, but they still got a ways to go.
Jessica, what's the old cliche? One company or one person's bane is another boon. It was very apparent from the get-go that a lot of their rivals to Toyota were going to pull out the stops, offer zero-rate financing, offer thousands of rebates for people to buy their wares over that of Toyota. We're also hearing that Toyota might have to pull a Hyundai on the market and do something like a 10-year extended powertrain warranty or something like this. Sounds like a field day for the consumer.
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing all those reports come in. GM was the first to take advantage of Toyota's position of saying, throwing their incentives out there. If you have an old Toyota and you want to trade it in, or if you even own a Toyota, come in and GM will cut you a deal. Ford followed suit, so did Hyundai. We heard Nissan is also joining the crowd. So it looks like there is going to be a lot of incentives, which is interesting because we just weaned ourselves off these incentive wars that these automakers have had for the past few years. But it looks like we're going to be going there, at least in the short term. So Toyota's fighting to keep market share alive.
Is there any company out there, any one of the players out there impress you more than the others with their lineup? I mean, if you do have people skittish over the prospect of driving a Camry or an Avalon or a RAV4 or a Corolla, do they have a similar lineup? The Ford Fusion kind of comes to mind. I think they're poised to overtake Toyota as retake the #2 pole position, aren't they?
Yeah, it's definitely looking that way. I mean, Honda's Toyota's #1 competitor here in the United States, as is several other parts of the world. But Ford has a lot of vehicles that are very popular with consumers and that are surprising people, to be honest. People are really starting to resonate. Hyundai's got a new Sonata that's gotten great reviews, and that's right in that midsize sedan segment that can take a direct hit at the Camry. So when that comes to market, I think they're going to do pretty well with that, especially if Toyota's weak. So I think that between Ford and Hyundai and everyone else out there, Toyota really has to figure out what they're going to do to get their consumers back.
Okay, what is the most amazing offer that you've seen out there among the many? Is there one maker which has really pulled out the stops with this, you can't possibly pass this up in your lifetime kind of a deal, like 15-year zero interest rate, 50% off the MSRP, anything like that at all? Or am I over-exaggerating? Nobody's ever accused me of melodrama.
Yeah, I think you're probably a little 2009 with those comments, but generally across the board right now, we're seeing incentives from everybody, and I think 0% financing is really the one that's been thrown out there the most, and that's, I mean, God, that's practically every manufacturer out there. So, I mean, again, I think it's just is the juxtaposition between a few months ago where the automakers were like, no more incentives, and now here we go again. Looks like it's gonna go that way, at least for the short term. I'm thinking for the long term, we still have hope to not put those huge rebates out there any longer.
Jessica, a moment of truth. What are you driving?
I drive a BMW, so I have nothing to do with any of this recall stuff.
Join the crowd. It cost me a bomb to fix. That gear selector electronic switch cost me $500 to fix, and I stick with it because it's so fun to tool around town. Jessica Caldwell, Edmunds.com, Santa Monica, California.